latest updates in Pop Smoke case will shock you.
All of it.
Of course.
I do a little Pop Smoke impersonation. Not ready to do it on.
Pop Smoke, real name Bashar Barack Jackson, rose to superstardom in less than a year when he broke out with his guttural vocals and ominous backing tracks. At just 20 years old, the young star was enjoying the lavish life and moved to Hollywood Hills, California. Unfortunately, that move proved to be fatal as he was shot and killed in his new home a few days after he moved in. The evidence was plenty in his murder investigation, but nothing has led to an arrest so far. As police work through their leads, we have to stop and wonder, why did someone come for Pop Smoke's life? Thanks for joining us on Lime Report, as today we'll be looking at some of the newest updates in the tragic Pop Smoke murder case. Before we go on, remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the link in our description for a chance to win our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Pop Smoke was shot and killed in his rental Hollywood Hills home last month in what police originally believed to be a robbery that resulted in his tragic death. However, as the investigation progressed, lead detectives soon realized that the robbery motive didn't fit the case. When they first began the investigation, initial reports told us that they were handling the case as a robbery due to the clues the perpetrators left behind. Yet the rest of the evidence surrounding the case never supported the theory. While it's true the alleged robbers took some things of value, most of Pop Smoke's valuables were intact when suspects left. Additionally, the robbers left the home mostly untouched, which is pretty out of character for a robbery. Ransacking typically occurs when an intruder is looking for cash or items of value. However, when the assailants entered Pop's home, they seem to have made their way straight to him with no interest in valuables. With evidence pointing to a darker story, the robbery motive was ruled out by the lead investigator. Soon after, it was reported by several sources that police believed Pop Smoke's murder to be gang-related hit. While some were shocked by the revelation, it made sense. After all, Pop was not shy by letting people know that he was affiliated with the Crips. It's not unknown for rival gangs to take out opposing members to weaken the other side. So, how did Pop Smoke's killers plot to take his life unfold? Let us take a look at the story as we know it. The events leading up to Pop Smoke's death feel like something out of a movie, but this just seems to be the norm these days. His storied rise to fame was riddled with adversity, stemming from his shady past. Despite his past and hardships, Pop Smoke hit the scene like no one had ever seen before. Just last year in July, Pop Smoke released his smash hit Welcome to the Party. A few months later, and the young star was already seen linking up with industry giants like Travis Scott and Quavo for collabs. 2 weeks prior to his death, Pop Smoke had just released his follow-up mixtape, Meet the Woo 2. The immediate success of his project, followed by his move to California, was a cause for celebration, which is exactly what Pop did. According to our sources, Pop Smoke was out in LA the night before his murder celebrating with friends. Pop and his group didn't return home until approximately 4 a.m. in the morning. 10 minutes later, 4 masked men broke into the home in what was initially believed to be a robbery. Official reports state the men were armed when they entered the home, and at least one man, presumably the shooter, had a mask on their face. The intruders moved through the house for roughly another 10 minutes until they found Pop Smoke and shot at him, striking him twice, including a fatal shot to his chest. Apparently, someone on the East Coast called in to the NYPD to report that someone was breaking into their friend's home in California. The department connected with the LAPD to relay the information, and that's when police and rescue finally made their way to the residence. From what we know, Pop Smoke was not alone in the home during the time of the break-in. Yet, rather than calling the police, one of the witnesses called family in New York to notify them of the incident. The strange fact was unsettling in an already confusing murder investigation. When the assailants broke into the home, they made their way straight for Pop and reportedly found him alone before shooting him. From the time of the break-in, the suspect spent no more than 20 minutes in the home before fleeing the scene. The circumstances surrounding the alleged robbery made no sense. To add to the confusion, witnesses proved to be useless when interviewed by law enforcement. Police reportedly detained several eyewitnesses from the scene when they pulled up. However, nothing they said helped to arrest those responsible. In fact, police told us that all witnesses were either completely unwilling to cooperate with police or unreliable due to discrepancies in their statements. The heat really turned up when it was revealed that an address leak may have been what sealed Pop Smoke's unfortunate fate. Stay tuned as we continue looking at Pop Smoke's recent demise. When fans learned that someone had leaked Pop Smoke's address, they flew into a rage and even went as far as accusing Pop's brother Mike D of setting Pop Smoke up. The reason for their claims was due to a number of suspicious moves made by Mike around the time of Pop Smoke's death. The day before his murder, Pop Smoke and Mike D posed together in front of the Hollywood Hills home. D posted the picture to Instagram, and now the infamous shot became subject to scrutiny after news of Pop's death broke. When fans learned of Pop's death, some pointed to the photo and claimed that Mike D purposely leaked the last 3 numbers of the address to tip off attackers. Some even went as far as to claim that Mike D set up Pop Smoke's assassination out of jealousy. However, Mike caught wind of the allegations and quickly fired back at his accusers. He deleted all of the photos on his Instagram feed, leaving only one photo of himself and Pop Smoke as children, with an emotional caption defending his innocence, claiming that those accusing him had no type of sense or sympathy. Police confirmed that Mike D was not a suspect, and they had no reason to believe anyone from Pop's camp contracted a hit on the young rapper. Despite the slight leak Mike D was clearly at fault for, his mistake paled in comparison to that of Pop Smoke's. The egocentric rapper loved to show off and keep his enemies envious of him. So naturally, when Pop Smoke received a personal gift bag from designer Brand Amiri, Pop took to his Facebook story to flex the gift. The only problem with the post is that the tags on the gift bags clearly showed Pop Smoke's full address. When fans realized the error, they warned Pop Smoke of the dangers, but the damage was already done. When Pop Smoke leaked his own address online, he basically signaled to his enemies the one place he could be found vulnerable. People around him urged Pop to amp up his security, but from what we're guessing may have been a show of pride, Pop declined. Pop Smoke was a known Crip and had many run-ins with rival gang members in his hometown. One incident from his childhood led to a viral video when he was 13 that followed him growing up. In the video, he was humiliated by 3 rival gang members after he revealed that he was a Crip to them. The incident led to a beef with the 3 kids that led to several fights between the 2 camps. Their beef happened to coincide with a beef between their 2 factions that helped to start a civil war of sorts in New York. When the war broke out between the gangs, bodies dropped on both sides along with allegations of snitching. With such a hostile situation going on, Pop Smoke made a smart move to leave his hometown for the comfort West Coast provides. Unfortunately, in the midst of the unrest, leaving himself so vulnerable proved to be a fatal mistake for the young star. Jackson grew up in Brooklyn's Canarsie neighborhood, also known as the Flossie thanks to the famous Fabulous line. The young star carried himself with a charisma and style that many compared to the likes of Queen's legend 50 Cent. Pop once mentioned in an interview that he looked up to 50's style growing up and his music helped inspire some of Pop's own lyrics. Born to Jamaican and Panamanian parents, Pop's roots are prevalent in his music and identity. While growing up in his neighborhood, Pop realized early that he was in dangerous territory and was already gang-affiliated with the Crips by the age of 13. At the time, the beginnings of a civil war among New York's gangs was brewing, unleashing a chain of events that we believe could be connected to Pop Smoke's tragic murder. More on that later as we first trace back to the events of Pop Smoke's death as we know it. Stay tuned while we dissect the evidence presented at Pop Smoke's investigation. Pop Smoke gained notoriety last year when he hooked up with 808 Mellow from the UK to create the smash hit Welcome to the Party. The two linked up somewhat by accident when Pop Smoke, fresh in the music industry at the time, was deep in YouTube in search of a beat. He lucked upon Mellow's instrumental to hit the song and purchased the track immediately. Some time and a few phone calls later, Pop Smoke flew 808 Mellow out to link up and complete the hot single in a furious half-hour studio session. Though he wasn't the first to introduce drill to Brooklyn, his unique take on the genre quickly separated him from the pack, establishing Pop Smoke as the frontrunner in the new generation of Brooklyn rap stars. Pop Smoke came in violently, spinning tales of the bodies dropped, his mental traumas, and the copious amount of drugs he took to heal the pain. He also made it well known where his allegiance lies, with the Crips from his hometown. However, it's the devilish charm he held that captured the world, smiling through the dark path he came from. It makes sense why he was able to rise to fame so quickly. While police first believed his death to be a robbery, when you take a look at the whole picture, from Pop's rocky beginnings to his unfortunate death, he rode a thin line, and the dangers that come from the lifestyle are always lurking. When he leaked his own address, he seemed to have sealed his fate. While we still don't know who is responsible for Pop Smoke's untimely death, we can be sure that police will work hard to make sure they have the killers behind bars. Fans across the world are also on the move to try and identify those responsible for the Brooklyn rapper's death. Some Reddit threads dedicated to such endeavors have made some interesting points with a theory on what really happened to Pop. Regardless, we know that in one way or another, those responsible for the tragedy will know justice. Will it be police that get to bring the suspects in? Or will the raging war in New York claim more lives in the name of senseless violence? Tell us what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for joining us today on Lime Report, everyone. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to us, and follow the link in our description for a chance to win our $100 Amazon gift card giveaway.